Yo, what's going on? Welcome. It is January 23rd, 2014. It is Thursday night, and it is the return of the Tna Recipe. What's up? It's your boy Big Red, live and direct, all the way from the Big D town, Dallas, Texas. What's going on? It's a cold fucking night out here. I can't keep warm for shit in this house, but anyways, I know it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute since it's been a couple months, but I've been taking a break from TNA for all the bullshit that's been going on with TNA here lately. But before we start, we would like to remind everybody to always support your local indie scenes, no matter where it is, how much it costs. Get your ass in the seat somewhere. Also, would like to extend our condolences to Mae Young's family. As you know, she passed away, and this is my first chance I had to get to was just express my condolences live on air, and you truly missed, will be missed, and man, she was good. Anyways. Oh man, tonight TNA Genesis Part 2. We had Part 1 last week. We had the best match of the night. The best match of the night to me was the cage match. Steel cage match between Kurt Angle and Bobby Roode was the best match of the night. But before we get into all that, I think I have some callers on the line. I think we got our resident, what we call him, asshole, Mr. Doug Barrett.
Yes, your asshole is here. No, not Mr. Anderson. And all I got to say about tonight is, I didn't know this. I thought this was New Japan Pro Wrestling Recipe, not TNA shit.
And also, his co-host for Friday nights, my little sister, Miss Kara. I think she's in the house somewhere.
What's up, big bro? I just want to say, for the first time in like 2-3 months myself, I actually watched an episode of TNA just to call in and bitch, and I have it right now because I was not entertained at all except for that main event. So.
Right.
Wait a minute.
If anyone hasn't been paying attention out there, what's been going on in TNA, here's a quick recap of what's been going on. AJ Styles is no longer in TNA. He's gone. He has signed again with ROH. He's gone. And the way they sent him off kind of pissed me off. I mean, really, they had every fucking heel from the back come out there and jump him to help Madness keep the fucking title. And if you know, Madness is the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. He's gone. Jeff Jarrett resigned. He's gone. One of the new talents, up-and-coming talents they had, I actually like this guy. Jay Bradley's gone. Wes Briscoe's gone. And I don't know
half
what...
the knockouts are gone. Luke Gallows is gone. Jeff Hardy's gone.
Yep.
Basically, they lost everything talent-wise in their company.
But you know what? I'm going to have to admit, that promo that the American Wolves gave tonight, that shit was fire. I love that promo that they gave. That was a good-ass promo. Too bad it had to be wasted in TNA, but hey.
Well, again, you can thank Davey for that, because Davey's an idiot, but we've discussed that so many times it's not even funny.
All right.
But, I think the only thing, because Red, you and me watched the beginning of it, Carol, I think you missed a little bit of it, but, yeah, the only thing that's remembered...
I watched all of it.
Okay. The only two things that really anybody's going to remember, excluding the cage match, is the fan sign that said Magnus wears panties. And
that was hilarious.
That was fucking hilarious. But this next one has to be the best line I've heard in wrestling this week. Rockstar Spud. When Dixie's like, well, you won the British boot camp thing. What does he say? He's like, I beat 2 girls.
That shit was hilarious. I was like, wait a minute, did this motherfucker just say he beat 2 girls? Really?
Yeah, yeah, when I heard that, I was just like, okay, TNA just gave up and trying to be realistic and trying to be serious. Yeah, that just went out the window now, so bye.
You know, I just want to say I probably have nothing to talk about as far as, I don't know, this TNA show goes, because the only decent match was that cage match, and then you had that bullshit main event going on, so well, thank you, TNA, for ruining the last 2 hours of my life.
Well, I would like to say, in Kayla's case, before we continue, she's actually defeated more girls than Rockstar Spud has.
Oh! That is so true.
Ooh.
You know, they could probably kick Rockstar Spud's ass. Okay?
Probably so. And another thing I hate that they do with Rockstar Spud, they make him look like the stereotypical British guy.
Yeah, that's sickening.
I'm like, the way they always used to depict British guys with the big butt teeth and shit like that, and I'm like, they're painting him out to be like that, and I don't like that, and they make him so fucking annoying, but this guy actually has fucking talent, but they got him such in a shitty-ass fucking role that you just don't want to see him. You're like, oh, gosh, I just want to fucking smack the shit out of him.
Yeah, but before we smack the shit out of him, I want to smack the shit out of booking, particularly for the first match, Gunner and Storm. That was being a pretty good match till the finish, because the finish was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, wow, really? This is how
I didn't care for the match in general, and I was kind of like out of it, because the last time I watched it, they were a fucking tag team, and, you know, they were all headstrong and not against each other. And I'm like, I guess you missed a few things in a couple of months.
Yeah, well, in case for anyone
that happens when you don't have a tag team division anymore.
Yeah, but I think for the benefit of that, for people who missed the show, which they should be thankful, the finish was they both grabbed, the briefcase somehow got knocked, they both grabbed it or something, it fell on the floor. Rules state that the first person to pick it up wins it. Right when Storm's about to pick it up, Gunner does a headbutt out of nowhere, and Gunner picks it up, and you could just hear the fans go quiet. Because, one, the finish was stupid, and two, nobody knows who the heel or face is in this storyline.
Exactly. And I'm not going to lie, I was disappointed because I was looking forward to Storm turning around and super kicking Gunner. I was like, yeah, he's going to super kick him, watch. So he's going to turn his back, Gunner going to turn around right to a super kick. And I was like, really? This is how you're going to fucking end it? Seriously? It's like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I refuse to, give kind of any support of what happened in this match, because, you know, you can't help thinking about over the years, you look at these two individuals and they're completely different people. I mean, even Gunner 3 years ago was better than this. Hell, Storm used to be better, and now they resort to this kind of stupid match. It's not just booking, it's just everything in general right now with the company.
And I'm like, and they supposedly hired new writers? Yeah, you need to fire them too.
Yeah, you know it's sad when, I guarantee you, they probably edited this. There were probably fans saying, hi, you're Russo.
Right?
If they really care, what they should really do, fucking fire Dixie Carter and bring a good, you know, person in to run TNA, someone with legit wrestling knowledge.
What I'm trying to figure out is, though, they're hollering that they're going to be live next week from Scotland. How are they going to pull that one out when Scotland's, like, on a way totally different time zone than we are?
Knowing how I'm thinking it, probably going to be like it is for the WWE shows when they go to England or whatever. It's going to be live for them there, but by the time it comes to us, it's going to be it will be technically considered taped. So, there's that.
I'm like, y'all need to quit lying. I was like, y'all know this is not going to be live for us. Stop playing.
That's just goddamn misleading. Don't fuck us over with that.
And then during the shows that we know is taped, like the last show that AJ Styles was on, we know that was taped because he was been long gone, and they had live on there. I'm like, yeah, that's false advertising. This is not live. Stop lying.
Well, tonight's show was taped, but again, they said it was live. So go figure. I do want to concentrate on one match that wasn't bad but wasn't great, the X Division title match. That match was pretty decent.
Yeah. Too bad I already knew the spoiler alert about that Aries is winning the title back. And what is up with this? Why are they trading the title back and forth between them two?
Simple. They want to fuck with us.
My thing is, even if I probably watched it, I still would have been lost and been like, what the fuck? Because really, the storyline in general doesn't make sense to me at all.
I actually get the storyline. They're not really fighting for the belt; they're fighting for the woman.
Right.
So it is the winner. You know what the last match is going to be in this feud? The winner gets Velvet Sky's panties. That's what it's going to be.
Shit, if Chris Sabin keeps acting like this, they're not even going to need that match because, she's going to go over to Austin Aries anyway.
So you know what the sad thing is? Let's remember, Velvet Sky and Chris Sabin, are actually dating in real life. That's the fucked up thing in this.
Right. And at the end, another fucked up thing is there's still no reason why Chris Sabin is heel.
I have no idea either. But
he just healed because they got fucking bored and needed another heel, apparently.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Right.
Can I say this on behalf of everyone in the room? Velvet Sky, we would like you to keep dressing that way so we can get a good look at your long, beautiful legs and that nice ass and those nice, big, foam, fake tits you have, because that will probably make everyone happy in America, including lesbians.
Loose, baby.
And our area said something last week I haven't heard in so long. Let the pigeons loose.
That was, Austin Aries, ladies and gentlemen, a god on the mic. The only reason to watch TNA sometimes.
I know, man. I wish they would put. I wish shit would just evolve more around him because right now he seems the only. We gotta. Oh my God! Much as I like Madness as a wrestler, he has horrible mic skills. I was like, what the fuck?
Thank you for bringing that up because I love Madness. I remember I had him taken the Bound for Glory series. He's gotten better in the ring since he first started, but still, fucking God, his mic skills horrendous. Someone needs to get him to Jim Cornette or William Regal immediately.
Oh my God! I wish they would keep him off the mic, and I wish they would keep that fucking artist formerly known as Derek Bateman off the mic. Fuck.
Yeah, can somebody tell me why?
I've seen a lot worse, but I agree with you guys on that.
Yeah, let's talk about the one. I think we should go talk about a bit about the one highlight of TNA tonight. Out of the three we already said.
What, the Return of Abyss?
No, I missed. No, not that. That was great. No, the cage match.
Oh yeah.
That
was a great cage match. It's like it went back and forth so damn much. It's like, okay, who's gonna win? Is Kurt gonna win? Is Rude gonna win? Like shit. And like Rude had won a couple of times. He was crawling out the cage and shit. Angle dragged him back in there, putting an angle lock on him. It's like wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think my big moment of that match, definitely like what the fuck moment, was when he did that. When Kurt Angle did that flip off the top of the cage. And
the somersault.
He landed pretty goddamn hard. Rude got lucky when moved out of the way. Shit.
Yeah,
and that's one of those that you go, that fucking hurt.
I mean, this match was good from beginning to end. I mean, even to the ending of the match was good because they, it was a race, like, whose feet was going to touch the floor first.
And the best thing about that as well, because of the ending was so good, and this is one thing I will say TNA did right in this case, it keeps this feud going, saying, Robert's like, I was so close to beating you in that cage. I know I can beat you again. And I actually like this shit, because I think it's doing good for Kurt Angle getting his, how can I say, his spirit back, whatever, into the business, because he looks lazy almost all of last year, and it's giving Muta a chance to shine and show everyone that he actually is a big talent.
Yep. He showed he was a fucking cyborg tonight, because, man, that was a hell of a match.
That should have been the goddamn main event. Because after that match and you went over to the main event, everything just, died.
I think that match, like, fans were so into that match, it's like, after that match, it's like, fuck the rest of the show.
Yeah, I kind of put that, the way the ending of that match and then the main event was, kind of like WrestleMania 18, remember when it was Rock and Hogan? That match was so great that the next match no one really gave a shit. That's what I felt with that tonight. After that, I'm like, does anyone really care about Magnus versus Sting now? We can all go home.
I mean, it's like, you could tell the fans weren't into the match. It was just like, it was quiet in the motherfucker during that match. It's like, okay.
I was focusing on my match, on Brawl, rather than, what was going on the television. And even if I was watching, I swear to God, I was about to fall asleep. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, the main event, let's be honest, and I can't believe I'm saying this. And Big Red, you and me, I think we talked about it a bit, that they just blatantly, the Magnus and Sting ending was a blatant ripoff of what happened to AJ Styles.
Pretty much.
I mean, let's see, you had Bad Influence come out, Bromance, Robert Roode, Big Daddy V, Giant Gonzalez, the Atari 2600, and Uncle Ben's Rice Box come out to beat up Sting.
Exactly. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, really? You finna repeat this shit again?
Yeah, and what makes less sense is, and this is what makes it so unbelievable, the only two people who helped Sting and almost helped Sting win the match was Joe and Angle. Now, I like Angle, and we all know how I feel about Joe, but I'm sorry. There's no way in hell two men are going to beat up the entire hero roster on TNA.
Hell no.
I kind of feel like this is like how it is with WCC Pro. You have like a shit ton of heels, that are all Team Dixie, and then you have, that small percentage of faces, which there is not enough to properly defend Sting. I mean, there's probably some more that could have come out, but it's like, yeah, we all know Sting's going, especially with something like this, so sorry, Sting, you had a good career, but you got fucked over in the end because Dixie's a hoe, and she has to send out all of her bitches.
Yeah, now I'm going to say something, because Karen Bigwood, I sent you this in messages, and I'm going to say it here. I originally thought when they said Joe was in Sting's corner, I'm like, Joe is going to go heel and screw Sting. No, they did not do what I think almost everybody had predicted. No, instead they just fucking repeated a goddamn storyline they used a few weeks ago. I guarantee you, Vince Russo and Ed Bischoff are sitting at home going, we could have booked that ending better, and we're too old for this shit.
Exactly. On another note, hey, I like Bobby Roode's new coat.
Yeah, I did.
Damn.
Bobby Roode, I mean, I would have to say it's a strong candidate so far for that match. Strong candidate for being one of the guys running for Superstar of the Year this year.
Right.
I know it's early, but...
And then next week's supposed to be the big reveal of the new investor.
Do you think anyone really gives a shit who the new investor is anyway?
I think everybody does just because of this. I think a lot of us, we know it's either one or three people. Most of us think it's Sting, which would be
I doubt
somewhat makes sense. But we'll find that answer if Sting shows up at the Rumble. If he doesn't, then he's probably still in TNA because he hasn't done any shows since this was taped. So who knows?
So also think about it, though. Sting is pretty much against going to WWE, so I don't think he's going to show up to either.
The only reason we'll probably talk about Sting tomorrow, unfortunately. I have things I was going to bring it up. The second person I would think is Jim Cornette. Let's remember Cornette was in TNA when it was still with the NWA, so yeah, I wouldn't mind Cornette. And the third and final one I know people have been saying, which makes me scratch my head, is Larry Sabisco.
Yeah, I've even heard Tommy Dreamer, too.
Well, if it's Tommy Dreamer, I wouldn't mind that, but granted, the one problem would be if everybody would say it. Tommy Dreamer doesn't have the money to buy that. He's broke. He will.
Right,
I think what we should really ask ourselves in this situation is, does it matter if there's a new investor? Because I think TNA has pretty much hit its rock bottom, and it's going to be really hard to come up if, even when they have new investors, I think it could just still crash and sink.
I agree, but I'm going to defend TNA here. I can't believe I'm saying that because I do like the signing of the American Wolves to a degree. I like Robert Roode getting focus and all that. If TNA is smart, they need to do what WWE has not done, and that's since WWE goes to Mexico a lot, TNA needs to go to Japan. They need to look at wrestlers in there. They need to bring guys like MVP and Thompson Tomko back again, and Machine Gun, Tyler Anderson, and a few others. And I can't believe I'm saying that. Do some promotion work together with Combat Zone Wrestling or some of the indie promotions. That will help you.
Right.
If you don't, because, let's remember, WCW did at a time have a lot of the indie stars and smaller promotions wrestle on their shows. Granted, it was mostly the Saturday night shows, but yeah, if TNA can do that, I think they'll be able to build up the fan base again and stay relevant. But if they don't, I think they'll be done by the end of the year. I want to say 6 months. I think they got a grace period, because a lot of people don't know what's going to happen. So I'm trying not to be, near the coffin yet, but the coffin, they're on life support, and if they don't do something, you're going to be hearing the doctor pronouncing the time of death.
I nailed the coffin 3 months ago. I don't want to sound like the pessimist, but I think, one, how are they going to afford to go to Japan when they can't even, afford to do pay-per-views, which, hell, that would have given them more money to do pay-per-views. They can barely travel anywhere, so how the hell would they make it to Japan anyway? Just saying.
Well, I think the thing with Japan, I don't think it would be more TNA going there. I think it would be Japan coming to the States because let's remember, most of the fans who, do know some of the wrestlers that wrestle in Japan. So Japan is smart. Hey, you start having your wrestlers come there, work a few matches, even maybe defend the New Japan title, and that will probably pick up business on your side because people in Japan be like, oh, they're working with TNA, they're working with this company in America. That means, and B, it'll get TNA money from the Japanese fans, so it would work out for each. But again, somebody would need to be intelligent enough to think like that, which I don't think Dixie Carter's not.
And remember, that's a big, huge if.
Right. I don't know. It's just a big ass mess right now, and TNA, it would take a lot to clean up.
But it can be cleaned up. We're not. I think we all agree it can be cleaned, but it needs to start being more intelligent.
Right.
So like I said, they're pretty down low. If they're going to, and I think they can, but you have to bring in a lot of effort. There's going to need a lot of things that need to be done for them to get the credibility that they once had. And when you're down that low, it's sometimes nearly impossible to do that. WCW couldn't do it, and what makes you think TNA can do it?
The only reason I hope TNA does, and this may just me being the hopeful person in this, if they go out of business, and I don't want that to a certain extent, I mean, I do because I can't, I mean, they've literally made a joke of the business, but at the same token, if they go out, you're really only left with two options if you want to try to get on TV. Ring of Honor, which, as we know, does not air in a lot of states, or go to WWE, where either A, you'll get used as a mid-carder, probably only maybe a few of you will probably even see main event status, and the rest of you would probably be stuck in NXT and Jobber land.
Right.
Personally, I'd rather stay in the more of the indie business. Just saying.
Well, I'm not trying to hate on the indies, but let's be honest. You know what? It's very. I'm sure for some of these guys, it would be very hard to go from being on national television on Spike TV to going to an indie show where, when you worked in TNA, you're probably making about $10,000 or whatever to making about $500 a night. Some of them probably want to be able to swallow that pill.
Shit, they're more like an indie business now than ever.
And of course, I will say, of course, there is the other option. They can go to Japan and Mexico, but I don't think most of them could make it in Japan and Mexico because most of them, let's be honest, are old, very old, and the only ones that still seem like they can go is Robert Roode, Kaz and Daniels, Aries, Chris Sabin, Kurt Angle, as much as I hate saying this, Samoa Joe, and that's about it. The rest would probably not get used.
Yeah.
I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, I think I'm through with my rant. I hope they get their shit together because I would hate for them to have to close doors because TNA gives an alternative to WWE, and that was the whole reason of Jeff Jarrett even creating TNA, was an alternative for guys to want to go somewhere else. If you didn't want to go to WWE, if you want to fool with the McMahons, come here.
Mm-hmm. I think that
TNA, if you want a fair chance of being main event status, come here.
Mm-hmm. I think at the end of the day, if TNA does go out of business, we will. I think we will learn that again, wrong people in booking in the back of the office, Eric and Hogan. 2, and this is probably the biggest thing to me, TNA should have never left the NWA, because when they left, they did good for a while, but then they went straight down here after, I think it was, the main event Mafia storyline, or during that time it went...
I think I mean, the company had its highs and its lows throughout everything, but for me, what really did it was, 2010. That was, that year and the years after, it definitely sank downhill and it lost credibility quite a bit. You had a bunch of good stuff going on, but there really wasn't a lot of interest. And the storylines became shit, and, when Dixie Carter became more in charge and you had all the Hogan and Bischoff bullshit,
Yeah.
Who cares?
And I think another thing that hurts them right now is, and I'll explain this, is them being on Spike TV, because let's be honest, excluding TNA, what the fuck is left on Spike TV? You have no more UFC. I don't even, does Spike even have another MMA show? Because now it just seems like it's a bunch of reality television shit and movies that you could probably watch on DVD.
No, I don't even see them doing Bellator anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe they'd have a better chance if they switched channels, if the channels would even take them.
If they were smart, they would be going to Fox Sports 1, only because that's apparently the new sports channel. I mean, you got UFC on there. Just the saying.
Right. Anyways, I think I'm done. This is just sick.
Yeah, fuck it. I'd rather talk about something else.
Anyways, you're listening to the TNA Recipe going down every Thursday night, 30 minutes right after Impact goes off the air. The number to call is 760-569-7676. Again, the number is 760-569-7676. Access code 200-446-pound. Again, the access code is 200-446. And remember to hit that pound to get in. That's what she said. You can also follow us on Twitter at WCC Live. Also, hit up our like page, WCC Live like page on Facebook, and TNA Recipe like page on Facebook. Also, you can join us in Facebook/group/Wrestling Commentary Central, or you can join our WCC Brawl, which is where we pretty much role play. We have our wrestling characters. We do storylines. We have titles. We do it all in there. It's just hardcore wrestling fans.
Just like top TNA.
Right. It's just hardcore wrestling fans having fun downtime when we get off our bullshit ass jobs or hard days, school work and shit. We just chill, do matches, have fun, talk shit to each other as we do. You can also find me on Twitter at RedDon81. That's REDDON 81. Also, my YouTube is RedDon81. Also, follow our YouTube, DXR420. Or you can feel it's Spawn20113. Yeah, Doug, let us know where we can find you at.
Well, you can't find me on Twitter, unfortunately. On Facebook, you can find me. Just look up Doug Barrett. My picture is a guy holding a sword. You can find me on YouTube as well at Doug Barrett 619 Part 2. And you can find me on PS3/PS4. Just look up Doug Barrett 619.
Doug, you left out the very best thing here.
Of course, the main event, but I'm saving that for you. I'm being nice for a change. Now,
okay.
If you want me to be an asshole, fine. The main event, which is tomorrow night.
All right.
All right. Well, what about you, Miss Kara?
Well, you can find me on Facebook, Kara Jo Nisley. Right now I have black hair, and it's really not hard to find me. I have, like, a Superman shirt on. You can also find me on Twitter at HeelKaraY2JFan. I mostly talk about Face-Off, so, yeah, there's not much going on there. And you could find me and Doug every Friday, 30 minutes after SmackDown, or we fucking try. This week, we are having a Royal Rumble special. We're going to talk about the shit that is the WWE's Royal Rumble, plus our own fantasy Royal Rumble thing, which Reese had one the other night, but ours is a little different. I'll let Doug explain that because I'm rambling.
Hey, thank you. Of course, like she said, tomorrow night, as our Royal Rumble special on the main event, we'll be making our picks. We're talking about some of our best moments and the worst moments of the Royal Rumble and our special fantasy warfare Royal Rumble. This one's a little different, though. Like she said, Rock and Reese did his, which was the top 30 strongest whatever dudes in it. Ours will be the winners, every winner of the Royal Rumble. Now, of course, Miss Kill already drew numbers for each of the winners. I was going to, but then I got drunk and partied with Summer Rae, so, yeah, I apologize for that, but, I had a good summer.
Don't ever apologize for partying with Summer Rae now.
Oh, no, trust me, no, I'm just apologizing to Fandango because I got to tap it before he did. Oh! Now, of course, Miss Kara, just to give everyone a little taste of what's to come tomorrow, who are the first two people in our fantasy Royal Rumble?
Brock Lesnar and John Cena.
Ooh, Brock Lesnar and John Cena started off. I wonder if anybody will pick them to win it. We shall see.
Before we know...
If you find that interesting, just wait who the higher numbers are. Shit.
On the side note, hey, Z-Lion, if you listen to this, pull your fucking pants up, boy.
Okay, since you brought that up, I just got one thing to say to him. Pants on the ground, looking like a fool with your pants on the ground.
Exactly. Anyways, also you can follow or listen to our other shows going down every Monday night, 30 minutes right after Raw goes off the air, is the Uncensored Show with our CEO, Mr. Chris Team, bringing in Rock and Reese every Tuesday night, going down Overload with Mr. Jones. And, hey, I got to give a shout-out. He's a little busy right now. And glad to have him back is our extraordinary super producer, Mr. EL.CIBERNETICO. Going down every Wednesday night is Rock and Reese with Ring Rockers, and later that night is, oh shit, my bad. Anyways, Mr. Jacob Marshall Gator with Sex Battles, and then a Thursday night right back here, and Friday nights is the main event with these two. Anyways, I think that's about it. About to get ready to wrap it up. And hopefully, like I said, TNA, get your shit together so I can keep doing the TNA recipe. Won't have to change it to the ROH recipe. And,
I would call in for that.
Right? Probably get a lot of callers in. And shit, that's about it. See you right back here next week, same time. And we'll be out of here.